Hey everyone, Sharps here with Sharps TV. I was having some technical issues with my other capture software that I was using, so I'm going to have to go ahead and start over with the series. Sorry for the late update. I'm now using Open Broadcast software, which it took me a very limited time to set up, and it's working wonderfully, and it actually records my cursor. The other one that I was using wasn't, so definitely worthwhile, and it's free. So this is the game, Rimworld. Again, rimworldgame.com, made by Ludion Studios. I'm going to go ahead and start a new colony on Cassandra Classic on Rough. We're just going to go with the base difficulty. I already have made a specific world for this. So we're going to open that, and this is what it generated. I'm going to try to find something that's a little bit of middle of the road. I don't want a year-round growing season, but something reasonable, something livable, so I won't have to struggle and resort to cannibalism too often. Let's see here. April through September. I'd like to go March to October would be optimum. Come on. I know you're out there. Here we go. March through October. Looks like we got a little spot here. I want to try to find one that's only got a couple types of rock in it too, just so it's easier to manage. Let's see. Okay, I think we're going to go with this. So we're going to have an average temperature in January of 41 degrees Fahrenheit and in July of 76. So pretty nice. Not too bad. Wouldn't mind living there. Beats Wisconsin. We're going to go with the normal map size. I'm not going to change the size of that. And then we are going to use Prepare Carefully. I do have a preset set up with this. Oh. Actually, I wanted to load the whole thing. My bad. And yes, I am going to be cheating. I'm going way over on the points, but meh. You know, it's all good. I do need to change this guy's name. I did have another request come in for a character. So this is going to be Eli, the Unstable Butcher. And then we also have Savannah Jin Ricky. I have to change this. You heard me. Jin Ricky. Who as a child was an adventuring child, and then in adulthood was a bad magician. I do have to change one of these as well. I'm going to go with Brawler. Did specify that they wanted a melee character. So go with that, bump up the cooking as requested. And artistic and crafting good, melee's good. So we should be good on that one. I just want to make sure I don't need to change anything else real quick here. This is going to be kind of the wild card colonist. Childhood as a vat-grown soldier, and adulthood of a galactic sightseer. Sort of the hitchhiker of the group. Unbeknownst to everyone else, she is a cannibal brawler psychopath. I think I'm going to change the brawler though. I only want to have one. Let's see. What goes well with cannibal and psychopath? Masochist. You know, just to make things even more interesting. I will go with that. Let's see. Yep, that should do it. I did set up the apparel and weapons a little bit different from standard. The idea behind this is that when they crashed, they all may have had a little bit too much to drink. They had a case of beer. Out of the 24, they only have 10 left, as well as they have a few bottles of rum. You know, they're hitting it hard. They're on autopilot. They just, you know, there's a tiger they picked up along the way in their travels. They're just, you know, going crazy, and all of a sudden, somebody bumps the controls, and they crash. So I'm going to go ahead and, aside from that, couple custom weapons for Jin Ricky, the Plasteel Concussion Baton. Always fun to miscellaneously concuss people. Desert Eagle and Survival Rifle. So we've got booze, we've got guns and blunt instruments, and we have a tiger. So we're going to go from there. Let's go ahead and get started. All right, here we go. The three of you awake in your crypto-sleep sarcophagi to the sound of sirens and ripping metal. You barely get to the escape pods before the ship is torn apart. Sometime later, you land on this unknown Rimworld. As pieces of the shredded starship fall around you, you start making plans to survive. And you may have difficulty with that, given the fact that you are probably still heavily intoxicated, but let's go ahead and wait for the pods to pop open. And go ahead and pause it real quick here, take a look at our colonists here. We've got Jinriki over here, looking fairly dapper in her little outfit there. Go ahead and have her pick up the concussion baton. Have Yaya, the cannibal psychopath, give her the survival rifle, and Eli is going to go with the Desert Eagle. Let's see, we've got a tiger. What's your name? Mignon. I'm not sure what that's a reference to. Hopefully we can get Mignon trained up. The animals in this game can do quite a lot. You can train them to, depending on their size and intelligence, to haul for you. They can rescue you if you have downed colonists. They can go out and pull you back. Also, you can use them to sick on your enemies. You release the hounds. In this case, would be releasing the tiger, which is, by and large, much more terrifying. So that's good. We've got plenty of wildlife, which I'm glad to see. Let's get these items available for use. We remove the X on them. It basically just says that the colonists can go ahead and use them for whatever purposes they need. We don't want any of those checked. There's some more steel ore over here, so I'm going to get those ready to go. Let's see if there's any meals, because those are going to be important. I'm using the Alpha 12D mod variety pack, which has a number of mods in it. There's one that expands the tech tree to the point where basically when you first start, you're starting with no technology at all, and you can't use the base material like the steel ore and the wood logs for a whole lot. Just the very, very basics. You have to refine them into wood planks, the steel ore into steel bars, and that requires use of the research bench, which you would have to construct. So it makes things more challenging. I find the base game a little bit too easy and simple. It's really good when you start playing it, but after playing it for, I don't even know how many hours I've probably played this game, it just makes it so you kind of fast track the beginning, and then you reach a point where you're like, well, you get into a routine. So I'm trying to break out of that, and it makes things a lot more interesting. You can do so many more things. So I'm going to go ahead and let everybody pick up their weapons here. Alright, everybody's armed. The first thing that we want to do is find a place to set up shop. Let's see, we want a place that's easily defensible, and that also has one of these steam geysers by it, these holes here. These not only provide heat, for example, if you're in a cold climate, they're an easy free source of heat, but you can also build generators on them that use the steam power from them to generate one of the largest sources of power available in the base game, and a middle source of power with the mod pack that's really useful. A lot of the things that the mod pack expands on require a lot of energy. It's going to go ahead and find a little bit more resources. We want a large mountain chunk that we can kind of dig into that doesn't have an easy way in. You know, something that has roughly one entrance that we can expand on. This map isn't quite as obvious as a few I've used, but I'm liking the fact that this whole side over here is mountain. This would allow us to dig in one spot and then completely expand, but still maintain one entrance. So that's very good for security purposes. And security in this game is everything, especially when your colony gets larger. It can be to a point where you're seeing raids from other tribes and things in very high numbers, extremely high numbers, coming at you, and you need an easily defensible position. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to start building into here. We can build some walls across some of these points in here, make some choke points. Here's one, for example, that's natural, and then up here, there's not... We'll be able to get out and have a defensible position pretty easily, with them having to take harder routes in, unless they spawn down here, but I don't think that they would. So, well, actually, in that case, I think we're going to start in here. So I'm going to get this marked in. Go ahead and mine in a little area, so we can get an indoor setup going right away. It's very important All the colonists' moods are determined by their environments, if they have a place to sleep that's even indoors, let alone in a bed, and things of that nature. They'll work a lot slower if they don't. They will have a lot of issues along those lines. So it looks like Eli is going to be going off to mine. I'm going to go ahead and set the speed of the game up a little bit. I'm also going to designate a zone for our colonists to place their items that we have just as a general drop-off point for the meantime. Hopefully they'll go ahead and start collecting things up. Oh, looks like they're just randomly wandering now. There we go. Thank you, Jinriki, for being so helpful in gathering up that steel. I'm going to take this opportunity while Eli's chipping away there and everybody's gathering things to take a look at the work priorities and see how we need to handle that. The base game sort of sets you up with just a general setup. You know, takes what looks what people are good at, tells them to do it. People who aren't so good at things, it tells them not to, and then goes from left to right for priority. For the most part, it's usually not a bad way to go just in general terms, but with this mod pack, you really need somebody researching right away and all the time, so that way you don't run into issues with them getting unable to cool an area, or getting heat stroke a palooza, or unable to cook food, for example. They might be prioritizing something different. So I want everybody to firefight right away. If something bursts into flames, we don't want them putting that off. That's not something that I'd like them to do. I do want them to prioritize being a patient over anything else. So if they get hurt, they'll go ahead and seek treatment, which is really important. We don't want them, walking around picking berries when their arms hanging off. It looks like Eli is going to be our handler. I'm going to up the priority on that. Jinriki will be our cook. I'm going to put that at number 1, just ahead of these major priorities, because we need to have meals produced and things of that nature, and have a lot to work with. Let's see. I think I'll make Yaya the hunter. I'm not going to worry about fishing. That's something that's added in the mod pack. We need more than one person who's able to construct, so I'm going to go ahead and set a couple of people's priorities a little bit higher on that, as well as on repair. Let's see. Both of Jinriki and Yaya to grow things. I'll leave Eli to be the main person who mines. Get everybody assigned to plant cut, which would be harvesting things. They're sleeping in the grass. He's like, I'm just going to sleep on this rock over here, because I'm awesome. Let's see here. We do want everybody to craft. Crafting, you think weaving baskets, or painting, or coloring. In this one, it's pretty much everything. Making planks of wood, or smelting ore, or gathering other things. It's really, really necessary. And then I'm going to go ahead and alternate the haul and the clean. So one person will prioritize cleaning over hauling, the other two will haul before they'll clean. And then we do need somebody who's going to be the main researcher. Eli. I do need somebody to be mining a lot, so we're going to need to expand. I need somebody who's relatively good at research. I'll have Jinriki on the case for now. Alright, so they're starting to gather things up and bring it back to our stock area. And we do have some meals here. That's what these are. For them to work with just temporarily. They're survival meals. 9 beer? Apparently somebody already drank some beer. They're just like, meh, whatever, we crashed, I'm hungover. Couldn't sleep it off. That's pretty awesome. Alright, so they're just going around gathering stuff up here. Getting some mining done. I think I'm going to have to change the priority for that. Yeah, I'll get that up to a 2, so comes before hauling for Eli. And then also, right away, before anything else, I need to start setting up some of the stations, like the hand sawmill that they use to cut logs. Sometimes in the base game without mods, you can go ahead and kind of put some of the stuff off. In this one, you really can't. Things can get very dire very quickly if you do. So I'm going to set up our grill over here that we can use to cook up some jerky and prepare meals. We're going to have to cultivate some soil so we can get a crop going right away. Without it, it's not going to be too easy to survive. This is going to make our colonists extremely busy at first. Hopefully we'll get somebody who will join us, in relatively short order. Put a door here just so this becomes an indoor space. And then once they wake up, you can go ahead and get everything set up there. While they're passed out, let's see here. I do want to set... this is their planning for like their day, so to speak. You can assign them, you know, this is sleep, for example. They'll sleep this time and then do anything else the rest of the time. I actually want to set all of their time to anything. So if they don't need that much sleep, then they're not obligated to do so. They won't be, you know, like, well, I could get up now and there's work to do, but, you know, my schedule, my manager said I can sleep, so that's what I'm going to do. No. Nope. No such laziness. Not on my watch. I'm just going to create a stockpile zone for those chunks of stone that we've got sitting around in there. I don't want those to stay. We can get those picked up and pulled out, as the colonists will think those are pretty ugly looking, and we don't want that. We're going to go ahead and make some wood planks here. Do until we have, let's see, I'm going to go with 75 for now. Actually 100. I don't think I need more than that for anything right off the bat. So we'll get that going. Thank you for building that door. Now, this is going to become an indoor area. So that way, if they sleep in here, and I will set up some sleeping spaces, that way they won't be like, I had to sleep outside in the rain, yeah, with squirrels crawling on me. We don't want that. Let's see, how are you doing? Mignon. Let's set you up to train. We want you to be obedient. I also want to train you to haul, first off. Having an extra pair of hands to come and bring things in is always good. Oh, we're down to 7 beers. Everybody's just getting loaded. You know, might as well, right? Okay. Need to build a research bench. How big is this? Oh, thank you. I was actually just going to ask that you do that. Place that there for now. Oh, thank you for hauling. This is going pretty smoothly at this time. Everybody's doing what they're supposed to be doing, which is not always the case. Oh, we already got some mushrooms growing inside of our little cave here, which is a good start. That's always positive. You can eat them. Some of them are medicinal, so if you run out of energy, it looks like, oh, there we go. Some people are starting to sleep indoors, which is good, so they don't get all kinds of cranky. Alright, so we're going to have to start researching right away. This is something that's very important. Let's see. Is that the one that I want? I don't know if that's the one that I want. No, this is the one I want. Crafting 1. So we can start cutting stone into blocks for building, and also start smelting resources like the steel here into bars. So that way we can start building more complicated things, which is really necessary to get anywhere, basically. To build anything like you know, air conditioners or coolers, to build walk-in freezers to keep our food from perishing. Also heaters for in the winter to keep things warm instead of using a campfire, which you can't control the temperature of, and things along those lines. Alright, Jin Ricky, suggesting that you give the colony a name. Rimtin. That kind of actually sounds like something you might suggest, if maybe you're under the influence of something. Okay, let's see here. Let's go with New Rimtin. To spice it up. Rimtim10. Canine Planet. Alright, there we go. New Rimtin. If you do have a suggestion for a name change, you can feel free to go ahead and suggest it. I'm sure I can edit the save and do so. That's just something to do for now. So now that we do have this land cultivated, I do want to go ahead and designate it as a growing zone so we can grow some, not peanuts, potatoes. There we go. And grow some potatoes on there so we can have a secondary source of food. And then we also need a food prep table. So if we go hunting, for example, we can butcher the animals and generate meat that we can grill on the simple grill here. Make some jerky. Go ahead and set up some jerky to be made. We don't have any meat yet. I'm going to start sending people out to hunt, but we're going to go ahead and get that set up. Let's see. Let's just go up to 10? No, let's do 12. Since we've got 3 people, that's 4 meals each. Save a little bit of time. I'm tempted to allow them to make it out of human meat. Nah. If push comes to shove, we can always set that up down the road. No, I think we should probably designate some animals to be hunted. I really want to... Looks like we need to chop down some more trees. I want to get that prep table set up first, though, so we can butcher them. Ah, thank you. Thank you. Good job of bringing in some wood. It looks like we probably have some somewhere else. We just need to have it brought in. Yeah, we've still got some available, so I'm not going to have them chop down trees just yet. Ah, there we go. You're a very productive colonist. I approve. Alright. Nobody's researching yet, which is a little bit unfortunate, but I'll get on that in a moment. Butcher creature, do forever. So whenever we kill a creature, go ahead and butcher it. Also, I'm going to set this up to make some simple salads as well. So when we do have our potatoes come to fruition, we can make some potato salad. Or if we find some berries or things along those lines, we can make those into salads as well, just as an added food source. Food can, in some circumstances, be kind of scarce. So we want to make sure to do that. So it's about time to get some designation for hunting. Let's take a look at what we've got. We've got some squirrels, a cow. That's the one. Come to Papa. Ooh, we've got some visitors coming. Oh, don't shoot the visitors, please, for the love of God. Oh, could you be shooting from any farther back? Do not hit them. Do not shoot them. Okay, thank you. No hunting accidents this time. Oh, that's something with one of the mods for this, the combat realism. It's a mod that I wouldn't play without, because it changes so many things about combat in this game, but they shoot from absurdly far away. And if somebody's just like, well, I'm going to path through here, and you just so happen to be, you know, shooting with a minigun into this area, well, you can imagine what happens. Especially with visitors, they don't take too keenly to that. I should set up some sleeping spots inside. These people are smart enough to come inside, but my colonists, not quite so much. I guess they're outdoorsmen, you know, they dig it. We don't have any hide yet, because our hunter can't hit anything. But so we can't make any beds yet, but I'm just going to plop some of these sleeping spots. So, oh, while I'm noticing here, set up our cleaning area too. We'll tell them exactly what to clean, so we can have a clean floor. We don't want a dirty area for our colonists. That does impact their mood as well, along with a number of other things. But that is definitely a main one. If there's a bunch of rubble, nasty stuff laying everywhere, they don't take very kindly. Thank you for taking care of that. Oh, getting drunk really? Already? Oh, apparently you needed some aiming juice. Well, that's awesome. Well, there you go, going out to butcher the cow. Excellent. So not only will we have some meat now, so that we can go ahead and make some food, we'll also have hide. We have 35 cow skin now. So we can go ahead and build some beds, which will make our colonists much happier. Go ahead, bringing in the meat. Making some meals. And Eli is training our tiger. Go, Eli, come on. Oh, failed. 13% chance. Oh. And we have our first encounter. A mad animal. A local squirrel has gone mad. It will attack everyone it sees. Classic. Alright, let's see where the squirrel is exactly. I got the red fist there. It's another nice thing about some of these mods is the icons. I don't think that you have a thumb, but let's see. Well, I guess we'll see where you go. If I have to, I'll designate somebody to take you out. But that may not be the case. Ah, you're going to end up going after one of these guys. Oh, get him. There you go. Good job. Thanks for taking a hit for the team for me. Alright. Oh, that matter resolved. Alright. Getting some of this area cleared out now. I'm going to set up a storage area very soon. We're going to need one, and we don't want all of our stuff sitting outside. It's going to end up deteriorating due to environmental hazards. And it'll also be easier for our colonists to access things for crafting. Let's see. I do really need somebody to research. Really need somebody to research. I'm going to, since Eli's the best at it, I'm going to set him to research #1. And then I'm going to have Jinriki and Yaya both just set to mine when they're done with their other stuff. So we can get this eventually taken care of. At this point, we only have 3 colonists. Wow, it is really raining. We only have 3 colonists, so I really need to not have them storing these outside. We'll set that up in a second. Things are being split really heavily. We've got so many things to do, like the planting of the potatoes, hauling of items into our stockpile, cutting of wood, butchering of animals, cooking of food, and all of that, cleaning, mining, all of that split between 3 people is very taxing for now. So things are going to go slowly, especially because we really need to research. If we were to get a heat wave, for example, or anything like that, we could turn this cave into an oven and not be able to do a whole hell of a lot about it at this point. It's not like an ice sheet map where you plop down a campfire to keep them warm. You would basically just cook them in here with, I mean, outside it would be like 135, inside it'll be like 110. Doesn't make a difference. They will get heat stroke and they will die, so definitely not something we want to have happen. I think for the time being I'm going to just set up a little corner over here of storage and set it for food and medicine so we can have that close at hand and out of the elements. Let's see here, foods and medicine. Put those in there. I'm going to go ahead and take the food and medicine off of this storage. Ooh, we've got a new person. I'm going to go ahead and pause it for just a second while I get this set up. No foods, no medicine. And let's take a look. Bonneville, the priest. That's a interesting set of names. Oh, and you're a pacifist. And you have no social skills. Well, on the plus side, you are fairly good at medicine, and you're ballistically good at artistic. So I'm going to have to set up something so you can make some sculptures and paintings and things of that nature, but yeah, looks like you're probably just going to be our weird hipster artsy Muppet. But, you know, it's all good. Cold lover, slothful. Oh, good. 30% slower work speed. Already looking, and volatile, so you're 15% more likely to have a nervous breakdown. Wonderful. Well, it's a good thing we've got booze left. All the beer's gone already. Dang. Alright. You should be coming on in. I should probably designate a sleeping spot for him as well. I really need to get this place mined out before I start getting all this stuff put in, but I really don't want people sleeping in beds. So, let's see, 10, so I can make 3 beds. Put one there, just because it's fun. Let's see, plop another one over here, and one right here. And go from there. Go ahead and increase the speed of the game even a little bit more. Where is that other guy? Sir? Sir? Where are you? What? Oh, he's just sleeping at the edge of the map randomly. Alright, whatever, dude. Hopefully he'll make his way over here eventually. Alright, let's see what you're good at. What can I assign you to do? You're a decent doctor. Let's put that as your #1 priority. I do need to put some more things to be hunted. I'll do that in just a moment here. That's one downside to having a pet, especially if they're not really trained to do much yet. They do eat a lot of food, so even if you hunt things, they'll go out and, you know, they'll munch on your food and things along those lines. And they're basically an extra mouth without any productivity, which can be a bummer. Oh, thank you for cleaning. Sorry I interrupted your sleep there. Alright, so you're gonna primarily be a doctor. Oh, you're not really good at a whole lot of anything. You really like to construct, but you're terrible at it. The nice thing about that, if you're passionate about it, it helps them with learning faster. But with a skill of 2, like if I told them to make a stool for somebody to sit on, or a table, it would probably end up being like awful quality. Which you can see here, anything that you build typically has a certain quality. Like this one's poor quality. It's not terrible, but it deteriorates faster. If you start getting into things like awful, for example, which is the worst one, they deteriorate very fast, and if it's a bed, for example, or a chair or a table, they're absurdly uncomfortable, and they don't get as much benefit from that. So basically, they're sitting on a crudely cut chunk of wood with some duct tape on it. That's, you know, as opposed to some sort of lavish chair. Good. We're getting things planted. Now, hunting-wise, I did see some deer earlier. I'd like to see where they are at. I don't see them. We've got a turtle. That's not what I'm looking for. Ah, we finished our first research, which is excellent. I'm very happy about that. We can move on to the next one. We got to get these rolling in very short order. Yeah, I'm going to go with construction next, so we can build some of the other things, because it takes a little bit less time, and then go power next after that, so we can get some power, we can get some cooling if we need it, and get all that in the works. We need to hustle on that just to prevent any complete catastrophes. Go ahead and set this cow and this cow for hunting. That'll provide some good meat. Here we go. Look at all these deer. I'm not going to have all of them hunted right away, but I'm going to set a couple of them to hunt. Given how the hunters shoot in this game, they will probably kill a few just coincidentally. So, well, we might get more than I ask for, but that's not a problem. And you're not doing anything. I do not like that. It's probably because I don't have you assigned to do anything. Oh, you can't haul or clean, bro? Dude, really? So basically all you can do is art, and I can't even have you sculpt anything yet. Scar. We're down to 1 bottle of rum, too. Holy cow. Everybody's just pounding the booze. That's out of control. Alright. Well, I think I'm going to set you to mine. I'm going to have mining as your #1 priority. Because, A, I really need this done. And B, nobody else is doing it, so we'll get that squared away first. Uh-oh. Bonneville's broken. At least he's in a daze. Essentially, he'll just wander around and take his clothes off and be oblivious to everything. It's better than Berserk, where they'll just start freaking out and attacking everybody. Excellent! A group of cows, abandoned or lost, have wandered into the area. They seem accustomed to human contact and are joining the colony. Well, I thoroughly approve. And where are they? There you are. Is it just one? Let's get that unforbidden. Man. Maybe it's 2? Are you? Yes. Excellent. Yes, we have 2 cows, a cow and a bull, so that we can mate them. And they can produce offspring. We can also get milk from them, so that's absolutely awesome. I need to set up a little pen or designate an area for them if I could find our colony. Here we go. I think I'm going to set them up somewhere just in this general area. I want to keep them off of our potatoes. We need those for our colonists. But go ahead and set up the animal area just kind of in this zone, and then have them go here. I'll still have our tiger sort of free roaming, but I don't want the cows to be too far away. If we need to get milk from them or do anything along those lines, I want to be able to get that done. Also, it looks like we've got some berry bushes in the area. Oh, and we've got our first raid. And they're dropping right in. Okay. This should be interesting. Are they dropping on top of Eli? Wow, that's fun. Alright, let's get you drafted. Let's have you take cover over here behind that random rock. Get you drafted. I'll have you kind of go over here. You can shoot around the corner. Bonneville, I need you to pop up and go hide in the corner and pee your pants, because you won't fight. And Jinriki, I want you on standby. I don't need anybody melee right now. Hopefully we'll be able to just shoot them and take care of it. But if I need you to run in and just, you know, clock them in the head, that's what we'll do. So let's go ahead and slow things down and see how this develops. Alright, so it's going to be popping open right there. They'll basically be ambushed instantly. But... oh. Well, that went relatively well. Couldn't really ask for better. I'm sorry right now. I don't believe, unless you have some really insane character traits. Well, it's actually not too bad. I don't really know. Oh, this is rough. Pause it for seconds. I could, since she is wounded, I could capture her. Oh, never mind. She's 67. Let's take a look at the health. Yeah, you've got a bad back. And took a shot, and got shot in the spine. So chances are, when you recover, you're not going to be able to, you'll be able to walk very, very slowly. You won't be able to pick up very much, and you won't be all that terribly productive. On top of that, you did try to drop it and kill us. So, yep, sorry. Today, not your day. Yeah. Eli, go ahead and finish the job. Oh, you can't? Oh, Trike is laying behind the table. Really? Let's get that mushroom out of the way. Don't shoot the tiger. Really? Are you serious right now? Dude. Okay, so now that we've resolved that, I think I'm going to go ahead and set up some graves outside real quick, just so we don't have the body laying there. Ah, we just finished construction 1. Excellent. Going to start power. Oh, but now that we've taken care of the terrible threat here from the Hatchet Sharks, I like that name. We've taken care of that. You know, we're still training our tiger, still failing, but you know, you do what you can. Dude, put on some clothes, bro. For real, dog. Jeez. I think that's where we're going to stop things here. But I do look forward to recording more. If you could please go ahead and give me a like or a subscription, and we'll have another episode up shortly. This is a good spot to stop. A Navy scientist named Mew Weiss calls you from nearby. She's being chased by tribespeople from Garar Kai. She begs for safety and offers to join your colony. Biologically, she is 40 years old. Be warned, if you accept, you'll have to fight off the tribespeople on her tail. And that's exactly what we're going to do in the next episode.